Today I want to introduce you to a free graphics editing program called the GIMP. The GIMP is an acronym which stands for GNU Image Manipulation Program. It was developed in 1995. It's been available for free ever since. It's my primary go-to program for editing graphics, and I'm going to show you how to install it and some of the basic interfaces you can use to edit images. To start with, you need to open your browser, and we can do a search for GIMP. And in this case, the first link that comes up is the GIMP homepage, www.gimp.org. And here's some basic information about the GIMP. I'm going to go straight to the download page. And I'm going to download GIMP directly because I don't have BitTorrent installed on my computer. And I want to save it. Okay, now that it's downloaded and security scan is run, I'm going to go ahead and open the folder. And I'm going to close my browser. And I'm going to go ahead and run the GIMP 2.10.10 setup.exe. So I'm going to double click that to get it running. I'm going to allow it to make changes. Go ahead and close my Explorer. And I want English. And let's see. I want to customize the installation a little bit here. I don't want translations because that adds new languages and that just takes up hard drive space. The rest of the options I want to go ahead and keep. File associations, I usually don't touch these because I tend to associate certain image files with other programs. I just use the GIMP primarily for editing only. Now I selected as my installation directory my D drive. That's where I put most of my programs. That leaves room available on my C drive, which is my Windows drive. And that leaves room available for things that Windows needs to do, temporary files, updates, etc. But in most cases you can go ahead and use the default installation drive, which is your C drive in the program's file directory. That's usually just fine. Okay, the installation is complete. I'm going to go ahead and click Finish. I have a GIMP icon here on my desktop. I'm going to go ahead and open that up by double clicking it. GIMP will take some time to query its plugins as well as the fonts you have installed on your computer. Okay, now I have the dark theme implemented on my Windows desktop, so these icons look different from what they usually look like. For anybody who's used the GIMP, basically everything's pretty much the same, so I'm just going to go ahead and let's create a new image, shall we? Hit File, New. It wants to do one the full size of the screen. I want to keep mine kind of small, so I'm going to do 1024 by 768. And under Advanced Options, you can select your color space, RGB, grayscale. I'm going to go ahead and use RGB. And fill with background color, I'm going to make this white. Okay, so there's a new image, and it's white. I'm going to go ahead and add some text. So let's do the text tool, which is this right here. Change my font. Comic Sans, a little bit of bold here. Go ahead and click this and type Hello World. I'm going to select all the text. I can drag the cursor across all the text, or I can hold down the Control key on the keyboard and press A. I can change the color. Let's use red. And I can make it a little bit bigger if I want. I can make it italic, underline, strike through. I'll get rid of those though. Now that that's done, Let's try something else. Now over here, this is the layering window. This shows you all the different layers. And this is kind of handy for one thing I like to do. Let's go over here. Do planet Earth. Let's do cartoon if I can. Go to images. Here's a nice one. I'm going to go ahead and right click this image, select copy. This is another feature I like about the GIMP. Now if I come over here to my image, I can do edit and then paste. But actually I want to do paste as new layer. Oh, that looks terrible. Well, let's see if I can fix that. Layer, menu item here on the menu bar, transparency. That already has an alpha channel. Okay. Well, let's see if I can select a specific color. There it is, color tool right here. Select this item. Now it basically selects the entire regions that have black only. I'll hit the delete key on my keyboard. Didn't turn out exactly as I wanted it. Anyway, I'm going to go here over here to the move tool. Grab this layer, move it down. That's fine. Now I'm going to go over here and select my text layer. As you can see, it says hello world. Go ahead and select that. And put my mouse cursor basically over any part of the graphics image that has text. Move that up. Okay, now we'll do select none. I've got some black right here. I want to erase that. So I'm going to go over here to my eraser, which is right here. And I want to change the brush to hard brush. That size is incredibly large. I'm going to drop that down to, I don't know, let's try 20. Yeah, that circle shows you the size of the eraser right there. I'll go ahead and erase this. But I've got to go to my pasted layer first on the, because if you try to manipulate or paint on some part of the image that's a layer, if you don't have that layer selected, it will actually paint on a different layer. Like if I do background and I start erasing stuff, it'll only edit the background. So I've got to select my little world layer right here. Actually, while I'm at it, I'm going to double click this, call it world, so I know what it is. There, so I've got world selected. Now I can come over here and erase all that black stuff there in the world. Now I'm going to select, this is a selection tool. You have two that I can see, well, two that allow you to use the mouse. There's other ones that allow you to select different ways. Like you can select a contiguous region, like if I click this one, and then I click the W, I've got to be on the text layer first. Click that over here, and then click the W. It will select everything that's basically connected to each other. So you notice it selected everything that's a W because it's all isolated by itself. I'm going to go here back to world, and I still have contiguous region selected. Okay, good. I can click this right here, press my delete key. Good. Let's hit select none. Make sure it looks good. Yeah. I still got a little bit of business here. Let's see. Let's go back to my world layer. Back to my eraser. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. That looks pretty good. Now I'm going to go to my fill tool, which is a bucket shape right here. Click that. I've already got black as my color, so I'll go ahead and keep that. And I want to fill this, and this, and this. Now I want to go to my paint tool. Got hard brush 20. I want to swap my foreground on my background because right now I'm set for black ink and my background's white. I'm going to hit this little swap button right here, and that'll swap it. So now my ink is white. I can go over here and do I. There. now that everything's done, I've got all my stuff on my image. I can start merging these layers down into a single image. So I'll start with world, right click that, and do merge down. Now the text and the world are the same layer. I can show you that. I'll just grab part of the layer here and move it around. Now I can merge this down to the background. Now it's all one image. Now I kind of want to crop everything that I don't need, so I'm going to go ahead and do my selection tool over here, the rectangle selection tool. Go up here, hold down the mouse button and drag what I want. And if I don't like what I selected, they got handles on the corners and on the sides and on the top and bottom. And you can actually grab one of those handles and move your selection around if you want to. Now that I've got everything I want selected, I can click image right here, crop to selection, and there's my new image. Now if I save this, it'll save it in GIMP format. I'm just going to go ahead and call this Hello World. But if I want to use it like on a website or send it to somebody so anybody can see it, I'll have to export it. So I'll click File, Export As, and right now it's set for PNG. And this is the file type it's using. I can choose another file type if I like. Let's try very common JPEG, like that. I selected JPEG image. And you can see it's added the file extension JPG. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then I click Export. And here it gives me some image quality settings. The higher this is, the better the image quality, but the bigger the file. The lower this is, the worse the image quality, but the smaller the file. So if you need to compress your images for any reason, this is where you do it. Now this works only with specific file types like PNG or JPEG files. Go ahead and you can have a comment here. I'll change this to Hello World. And go ahead and export. Now if I go to my Documents folder, click my Vid User folder over here in Documents. Here's my Hello World image. I'll double click that to open it. It'll open it on Microsoft Image Viewer. There's my Hello World image. So that's a short and simple tutorial on how to install the GIMP and use some of its features. That's it for this video. Give it a thumbs up if it helped you out. Click subscribe if you want to see more. Also make sure you check out the website www.the-nerdcave.com and tell your friends about me. I'd love to hear from them. Thanks for watching and have a great day.